after recording and taking pictures of almost everything I needed to save to count this as my robotics project, just in case I like completely screwed it over, I took it out to the flying field at MVRC and gave it a shot.
Oh no! To right, second attempt. Oh! Damn it. On the field.
The first two field crashes, I had to do some quick repairs, and I launched it again at the tall grass so that if it hits the ground, it'll soften the blow. And then after a really close to successful launch, I finally got a really nice flight, a maiden flight that had a good, decent takeoff and a good landing.
我现在才录，开始起飞的时候没录，现在录。
Very good, very good.
Pass, kind of. Whoa, never mind.
你让它下来。
Okay. Are you gonna run into a fence?
Got airborne.
Yeah. Landing left to right. Trying.
Nice.
Well done.
Very good, very good.
So after my first actual maiden flight, I crashed it pretty hard. I had to, it separated the front nose area, cracked that a little bit. I also had a little battery tray that runs around here that got dislodged, so I had to kind of tape the two sides to push it together. Battery I had to tape in as well. It ended up a little too tail heavy, so I needed to shift the battery. So it used to be, the butt used to be right up against the receiver, and I shifted it something like a ½ an inch forward. And the little tray is drooping a little bit, so I'll fix that on my next design, but otherwise it actually flew pretty well. I'm going to try flying it again. The other adjustment that I had to make is when catting it, I got a little lazy, and I let the angle of attack of the main wing rise a little too much because of the way that I got sloppy with the approximations or whatever. And so I added a little foam board shim to lower the angle of attack a bit. So I basically try not to pull the nose up too hard.
high wind. At least it's mildly heavy. Oh, God. Attempted low pass, right slap. Oops, sorry.
你不 landing。
I pretty much always have to be above 80%, dude. It just doesn't feel safe on lower. Let me actually see if I can get away with it. Turns don't feel good at low speed. For sure. I think I need to put a rudder on the next one. Oh, bad time for tailwind. Okay. Woo!
你让它 landing 了吧，
Okay.
这样我可以照。
Wind. No! Yeah.
Well, I'm back in my car. It did nose plant pretty hard. Busted open the entire nose section and that part. Yeah, definitely for the next one, make a bigger battery bay area so I can shift my battery around more. Maybe try to get some larger control surfaces so I don't lose control, and maybe a larger intake so I can have a little more thrust. We'll see. I'll play around with the design.